This moment is sacred. You are not here by accident. You are not hearing these words by chance. There are no coincidences in the order of your life. There are only signals, only confirmations, only the quiet tug that says pay attention. Neville Goddard called it the inner summons. He taught that life on the outside is the echo of what you accept within. If you have been praying and waiting, hear this with your whole heart. The sign you asked for is already here. Your breakthrough is nearer than your doubts, closer than your fears, and present the instant you accept it as done. Do not be fooled by appearances. Neville Goddard warned that senses are wonderful servants and terrible masters. What is unseen is more substantial than what is seen. Your desire already exists in the invisible, asking only that you claim it by assumption. The delays and disappointments were not punishments. They were shaping you into the vessel that can carry what you asked for. You walked through fire, and the fire refined you. Now the unseen asks to be seen. Stop staring at lack. Stop rehearsing struggle. Neville Goddard's law of assumption does not bend to anxiety. It bends to acceptance. What defines you is not the setback, not the closed door, the noisy world. What defines you is the quiet inner verdict you render about yourself. The key was never in the world's pocket. The key has always been your I am, the name of God within you, announcing who you are and what is yours. You are not waiting for a miracle. You are the place a miracle appears. You are not hunting a breakthrough. The breakthrough is waiting for you to step into the state where it is already finished. Doubt says it will take time. Faith says it already is. Neville Goddard taught that the moment you accept the end as real, you shift states. When the state shifts, the path arranges. You walk differently. You speak with a quiet surety. The world bends to meet you at the level of your inner tone. This is not theory. You have seen it. There were moments when everything lined up, when help arrived without announcement, when doors opened as if they recognized you. Those were previews. This is the feature. That stirring in your chest is not make-believe. It is confirmation. Everything that tried to break you has become the doorway you now pass through. You are clearer. You are ready. Neville Goddard would tell you to live in the end and refuse the old story's voice. The breakthrough you seek is not in the hands of other people, not in their opinions, not in perfect conditions. It is in the state you occupy. Release the habit of arguing for your limitations. Whisper it is done until your bones believe you. When the inner verdict is settled, all of heaven moves. Do not call this moment ordinary. Treat it as holy. You were drawn here by order, not accident. You have believed, wavered, stood, fallen, risen, and kept going. The sign is simple. You feel a calm beneath all noise. Neville Goddard called this feeling the secret. When you hold the tone of the wish fulfilled, you are no longer a beggar at life's door. You are the owner arriving home. Time is an illusion to the creative power within you. The only distance between you and what you desire is your own refusal to accept that it is yours. What you asked for in the dark has already been granted in the light that lives inside you. The door is open, but only faith walks through. A mind trapped in waiting sees delay everywhere. A mind that knows sees proof everywhere. Decide. Occupy the end. Speak from it, not toward it. You have carried burdens unseen by most. You are still standing for a reason. Nothing was wasted. The pauses were alignments. The silence was preparation. Your faith was lifting weights in a quiet gym. You thought you were set back. You were being set up. Neville Goddard would hand you his simple tools and say, use them now. Assume the end. Enter the drowsy state before sleep and rehearse one scene that can only be true if your desire is already fact. Hear one congratulation. Touch one token of the outcome. Breathe there until the feeling sticks. This is ersatz, the state akin to sleep. It is a short bridge to long results. Feel this truth. What was promised is yours, not later. Now, the outer world is a mirror, not a master. Accept a new inner truth and the mirror obeys. Dare to rise above the noise and say with certainty, my breakthrough is now. When you hold that note, nothing in creation can keep its reflection from you. See your life as you prefer it. Stand inside the scene. Let joy be your evidence. Walk with the quiet weight of someone already answered. When you do, people move into position, paths appear under your feet, and what looked impossible becomes embarrassingly reasonable. No force on earth can steal what is yours by right of assumption. No error from your past, no loud opinion, no seeming obstacle can outlast a heart that knows. You do not beg for what already belongs to you. You do not wrestle for what your inner decree has released. Neville Goddard taught the law is exact. What you believe you receive, what you expect you invite, what you accept you embody. Stand firm. Claim your portion with grace. Say it is mine and let the world discover why later. Voices will try to loosen your grip. Circumstances will pretend to be the authority. Smile kindly and remain. The blessing does not respond to panic, responds to poise. Neville Goddard would ask you to master your inner speech, because inner speech writes tomorrow's headlines. Speak only from the outcome. Refuse to rehearse what you fear. A steady inner tone pulls reality into alignment more surely than frantic action. Look again with new eyes. What do you desire already exists fully formed in the unseen. You are not building it brick by brick. You are consenting to it. Consent is belief plus feeling. Return to the end until the end feels like home. There will come a day soon when you will call this season a turning, not a trial. You will say, I had to pass through that corridor because it taught me to carry the answer without dropping it. Notice the small evidences. They are footsteps of the larger reveal. Each calm moment in a storm, each unearned smile, each nudge to act at the right time, each timely word from a stranger. Neville Goddard called these bridges of incident. They lead you across the river from old state to new without strain. You are already on the bridge. Keep walking. Release the habit of trying to force outcomes with the same old effort. The law moves by conviction, not by strain. Your job is acceptance, not explanation. The universe does not reward tension. It reflects identity. Assume the identity of the one who already has it, and watch how quickly life forgets to oppose you. You will not chase. You will attract by being. When doubt rises, revise. Neville Goddard's revision is your eraser and pen. Pick a scene that hurt and rewrite its ending in imagination until the new ending feels more true than the memory. You're not lying to yourself. You are choosing a higher truth. The past is clay to the hand of your present assumption. Shape it and free the future it was trapping. Before you sleep tonight, make it simple. Close your eyes and enter that soft borderland where thought turns liquid. Stand in the room you desire. Hear the one sentence that could only be spoken if your desire is already fulfilled. Thank you. We are proud of you. Congratulations, it went through. Welcome home. Feel the weight of it. Sense the texture. Breathe the air of completion. Drift off while wearing the end. When morning finds you, carry the fragrance of that state into your day. This is how Neville Goddard worked his wonders. This is how you will work yours. You do not need permission. You do not need to convince anyone. You do not need to explain your faith to those who insist on evidence first. Faith is the evidence. Feeling is the seal. The world will catch up to the decree you make within. Let your I am speak in your favor. I am chosen. I am provided for. I am guided. I am already there. Let these statements be quiet and short, like a judge reading a final verdict. That calm is power. The pressure you felt was forging, not punishment. Diamonds are born in hidden places. Trees that withstand storms grow deep roots. You have roots now. You will not be blown over by a weather report from yesterday. You will stand and watch the sky clear. You will smile when the call comes, when the email lands, when the introduction arrives at a corner you were not even looking toward. You will know it was never luck. It was law. If fear tries a last appeal, answer with rest. Rest is not laziness. It is worship. It says God in me has already arranged this. When Jesus slept in the storm, he showed the posture of finished faith. Neville Goddard pointed to the same rest when he told you to let the result possess you. Let the end hold you the way a chair holds your weight. You do not try to sit, you sit. You do not try to believe, you believe. Meditate on the word that strengthens your spine. Renew your mind with what is noble and true. Let Scripture irrigate the garden of your inner world. Let your imagination walk through those passages as if they are happening now, because the Word is living, and the living Word quickens living results. Do not rush. Do not fret. Plant, water, rest, and expect. The harvest belongs to the one who holds the state, not the one who counts the hours. Divine peace is not an escape from reality. It is the authority of reality. When you relax into God's care, you are not abandoning responsibility. You are embracing the highest one, which is to keep your inner altar clean. From that altar, your decrees rise. From that altar, your world organizes. Keep it clear of old smoke. Keep it clear of second guessing. Keep it clear of arguments with appearances. Your subconscious is listening when you speak kindly to yourself. It is listening when you repeat the promise. It is listening when you revise the hurt. Feed it only what you want multiplied. The word you plant there returns a harvest in due season. Neville Goddard students learn to treat the subconscious as holy ground. Do the same now. Sow only what you would be glad to meet in the street. While you sleep, your inner world goes to work. Give it correct orders. Fall asleep in the end, not in the problem. Let your last thought be the satisfied sigh of a result already landed. Night is a faithful servant. Hand it your finished script. In the morning, you will feel lighter for no visible reason. That feeling is the first fruit. Accept it. Do not talk yourself out of your own evidence. The presence of God is not far. It breathes you now. You are not trying to reach the divine. You are resting in union with the source of all life. From that union, creation is normal. From that union, being answered is natural. Carry this awareness into ordinary tasks, into emails, into errands, into quiet rooms and crowded places. Let your calm be your signature. Calm is a language the world understands. Return, again and again, to the simple practice that never fails. Choose the end. Feel it real. Speak from it, rest in it. Revise what contradicts it. Persist until the state persists by itself. This is Neville Goddard's straight road. You do not need detours. You need decision. Decide now and keep deciding each time the old picture knocks. You have come too far to turn back. You have learned too much to pretend you do not know. Stand where you belong. Wear the outcome that belongs to you. Call it home. Let the world be late to the announcement. You will not be late to your life. You will be exactly on time because divine order wastes nothing. Breathe, receive, give thanks as if the package is already on your table, because in truth it is. The last page is written. You are merely walking scene by scene to its reveal. Walk like someone who knows how the story ends. The end is good. The end is yours. And the end is now. Walk with me a little further. Let the next breath be your agreement that the end is already yours. Neville Goddard would tell you that agreement is creation. Consent is the birthplace of form. When you consent to the wish fulfilled, you stop chasing shadows and begin hosting substance. You are not trying to make anything happen. You are assuming it is so, and the law makes the way. Begin your day as the one who already received. Rise as the answered version of yourself. Wear the feeling before the phone rings, before the email arrives, before the funds clear, before the door swings open. Neville Goddard called this living in the end, and it is the straight road. The crooked road is asking the world for permission. The straight road is granting yourself the decree and allowing life to fall in line. Guard your inner speech. Neville Goddard said inner conversations are the seedlings of your tomorrow. If the old narrative tries to rehearse defeat, answer with the voice of completion. Speak from the mountaintop, not from the valley. I am supplied. I am favored. I am guided. Say these quietly as if reading a verdict already stamped. The calm tone is not weakness. It is authority. Authority does not have to shout. When memory aches, revise. Neville Goddard handed you the pruning shears of revision for this exact hour. Take a painful scene, not to deny it, but to redeem it. Close your eyes and imagine the moment turning in your favor. Watch the face soften, hear the apology, feel the outcome you needed, receive the letter as accepted, see the meeting go in your direction. Repeat until the new ending feels more natural than the wound. You will sense a loosening in the chest, like a knot untying. That is healing, and healed roots bear different fruit. Let patience be your poise, not your punishment. Neville Goddard never asked you to wait in doubt. He asked you to rest in faith. There is a difference. Doubtful waiting counts the minutes and calls it delay. Faithful rest counts the certainty and calls it unfolding. If you feel restless, return to the scene of fulfillment and linger until your breath slows. The body learns from your inner pictures. It will stop preparing for battle and start preparing a table. Do not negotiate with fear. Thank it for trying to protect you and then dismiss it with evidence from within. Neville Goddard would tell you the only proof you need is the feeling of reality. Let the feeling settle, and the world will become your witness. Fear fades when certainty stands still. Keep standing. The stage crew of life is redressing the set behind the curtain. Your job is to hold the role, not to rearrange the props. Choose one imaginal act that encapsulates the finished story. Keep it simple. One handshake, one congratulations, one message that says paid in full, one key turning in your own front door. Do not collect a museum of scenes. Pick one jewel and polish it nightly. Neville Goddard knew that simplicity concentrates power. The concentrated image burns deeper into the subconscious until it shines on the surface as fact. Invite ease back into your faith. The law answers conviction, not sweat. Neville Goddard was explicit. You do not make the seed grow by tugging on the sprout. You plant, you water, you rest, you expect. Let ease be your fertilizer. Let gratitude be your sunlight. If you catch yourself straining, pause and smile. The strain is the sign you wandered from the end. Walk back to the end and sit down in it. Honor small bridges of incident, the text that feels different, the idea that arrives in the shower, the person you suddenly remember to call. Follow these light steps. They are not random. Neville Goddard called them the natural course of events. The bridge is already built. You are simply being guided to put your foot where the plank already lies. When a step appears, take it without drama. Quiet action carries far. When you speak about your desire, speak as the custodian, not the applicant. This does not mean performing for others. It means refusing to contradict yourself. If someone asks, answer without betraying your end. Yes, it is going beautifully. Yes, things are moving. Yes, I am grateful. Then return to your calm. Neville Goddard taught that your inner allegiance matters more than public debate. Spend your energy feeding roots, not arguments. Clear space for what you have claimed. Tidy the corner of your room where the new thing will live. Prepare the folder for the contract. Create the calendar for the project. Set the place for the guest you have invited by assumption. This is not superstition. This is alignment. Neville Goddard would ask, if it were already yours, how would your environment look? Let your outer order be a courtesy to your inner decision. If an old mistake echoes, redeem it with revision and refuse the echo's counsel. The past is not a warden. It is raw material. Neville Goddard insisted that the present assumption change or freeze the past. Speak a higher meaning over what happened. I was being trained. I was being redirected. I was being preserved for better. And carry on. You are not obliged to live inside yesterday's weather. Practice ersatz as a nightly sacrament. Enter that drowsy threshold where thought loosens and feeling rides deep. Neville Goddard used it because the gate to the subconscious stands open there. Let one scene play until you drift over the border. Fall asleep wearing the outcome like a well-fitted coat. Morning will greet you with a subtler certainty. You will not need to pep talk yourself. The state will steady you without noise. If urgency shouts, answer with sufficiency. I have enough time. I have enough wisdom. I have enough favor. Neville Goddard knew that urgencies are often the last flare of the old state. Smile at the display and remain. The new state does not audition. It occupies. Refuse double-mindedness. Stop checking the soil every hour. Stop changing the request every day. Choose. Fix the end. Fix your praise. Fix your tone. Neville Goddard likened it to loyalty. Be loyal to the unseen fulfillment, especially when appearances stage their little play. The play ends. Your decree remains. Curate your intake. Guard the gate of your eyes and ears. If a story undercuts your faith, walk past it. If a conversation invites worry as entertainment, decline the invitation. Neville Goddard taught that imagination, once disciplined, becomes a faithful servant. Train it with what builds, not with what breaks. Your attention is holy currency. Spend it with intention. Let gratitude arrive before the package. Gratitude before proof is not pretense. It is prophecy. Feel the relief as if the weight already lifted. Neville Goddard would call this the mood of fulfillment. Where the mood and what circumstances hurry to justify it. Gratitude seals the envelope. Life delivers what the seal declares. If you are tempted to bargain with the divine, remember the covenant is already written within you. Your I am is the signature. You do not need to plead. You need to agree. Agreement is a quiet yes in your bones. Neville Goddard kept bringing students back to this simplicity. Assume the end. Feel it real. Persist in the feeling. Let the bridge carry you. When fatigue whispers, rest in faith, not in resignation. There is a rest that restores and a rest that retreats. Choose the rest that says, it is done. Put your tools down without bitterness. Sit in the finished room in imagination and breathe like someone at peace in their own home. Neville Goddard pointed to this rest as the mark of true belief. The storm hears that rest and loses interest. Honor small bridges of incident, the text that feels different. The idea that arrives in the shower, the person you suddenly remember to call. Follow these light steps, they are not random. Neville Goddard called them the natural course of events. The bridge is already built. You are simply being guided to put your foot where the plank already lies. When a step appears, take it without drama. Quiet action carries far. When you speak about your desire, speak as the custodian, not the applicant. This does not mean performing for others. It means refusing to contradict yourself. If someone asks, answer without betraying your end. Yes, it is going beautifully. Yes, things are moving. Yes, I am grateful. Then return to your calm. Neville Goddard taught that your inner allegiance matters more than public debate. Spend your energy feeding roots, not arguments. Clear space for what you have claimed. Tidy the corner of your room where the new thing will live. Prepare the folder for the contract. Create the calendar for the project. Set the place for the guest you have invited by assumption. This is not superstition. This is alignment. Neville Goddard would ask, if it were already yours, how would your environment look? Let your outer order be a courtesy to your inner decision. If an old mistake echoes, redeem it with revision and refuse the echo's counsel. The past is not a warden. It is raw material. Neville Goddard insisted that the present assumption chains or frees the past. Speak a higher meaning over what happened. I was being trained. I was being redirected. I was being preserved for better. Then carry on. You are not obliged to live inside yesterday's weather. Practice Sats as a nightly sacrament. Enter that drowsy threshold where thought loosens and feeling writes deep. Neville Goddard used it because the gate to the subconscious stands open there. Let one scene play until you drift over the border. Fall asleep wearing the outcome like a well-fitted coat. Morning will greet you with a subtler certainty. You will not need to pep talk yourself. The state will steady you without noise. If urgency shouts, answer with sufficiency. I have enough time. I have enough wisdom. I have enough favor. Neville Goddard knew that urgencies are often the last flare of the old state. Smile at the display and remain. The new state does not audition. It occupies. Refuse double-mindedness. Stop checking the soil every hour. Stop changing the request every day. Choose. Fix the end. Fix your praise. Fix your tone. Neville Goddard likened it to loyalty. Be loyal to the unseen fulfillment, especially when appearances stage their little play. The play ends, your decree remains. Curate your intake. Guard the gate of your eyes and ears. If a story undercuts your faith, walk past it. If a conversation invites worry as entertainment, decline the invitation. Neville Goddard taught that imagination, once disciplined, becomes a faithful servant. Train it with what builds, not with what breaks. Your attention is holy currency. Spend it with intention. Let gratitude arrive before the package. Gratitude before proof is not pretense. It is prophecy. Feel the relief as if the weight already lifted. Neville Goddard would call this the mood of fulfillment. Wear the mood and watch circumstances hurry to justify it. Gratitude seals the envelope. Life delivers what the seal declares. If you are tempted to bargain with the divine, remember the covenant is already written within you. Your I am is the signature. You do not need to plead. You need to agree. Agreement is a quiet yes in your bones. Neville Goddard kept bringing students back to this simplicity. Assume the end. Feel it real. Persist in the feeling. Let the bridge carry you. When fatigue whispers, rest in faith, not in resignation. There is a rest that restores and a rest that retreats. Choose the rest that says it is done. Put your tools down without bitterness. Sit in the finished room in imagination and breathe like someone at peace in their own home. Neville Goddard pointed to this rest as the mark of true belief. The storm hears that rest and loses interest. Make peace with not knowing how. You are not the architect of sequence. You are the author of the end. The law arranges the chapters. Neville Goddard taught that the how belongs to the state you occupy. When you occupy the result, results invent their path to you. Let wonder replace worry. Wonder is a higher intelligence. Tell a new truth about yourself until it becomes the only truth you can comfortably hold. I am the kind of person to whom good things flow. I am the kind of person doors recognize. I am the kind of person whose timing is perfect. Neville Goddard taught identity precedes event. Become inwardly, and the event comes dressed to match. Take inventory of small wins and call them evidence. The quiet day, with unexpected ease. The solution that appeared while you laughed, the bill reduced without your effort. Stack these as stones of remembrance. Neville Goddard would say you are building a case for faith in your own court. Present your exhibits and rule in favor of certainty. If envy taps your shoulder, bless the one you envy and convert the pang into praise. Their good is proof that good is active. Neville Goddard would remind you that what you admire, you invite. Say thank you for the preview. Then return to your own end with renewed joy. Keep your word with yourself. If you vow to practice SATs tonight, practice. If you promise to revise that scene, revise. Each kept promise strengthens the bridge between intention and embodiment. Neville Goddard's work is not a hobby, it is a craft. Crafts mature with consistency. Allow silence to speak between your imaginal sessions. Not everything requires a new scene. Sometimes the most powerful move is to do nothing but remain persuaded. Neville Goddard students learn the art of holy indifference. When indifference is born of certainty, the world rushes to fill the space you have cleared. Let love saturate your imaginal acts. Not grasping, not clutching, but love. Love of life, love of source, love of the self you are becoming, and the people who will be blessed by your becoming. Neville Goddard said love is the blood of the law. Where love flows, results quicken. Where love dries, effort grows heavy. Keep the current moving.